So today in our class, we are going to start with the impact exerted by a jet on series of vanes. But on a drum, a number of plates will be fixed like this. So what will be the force exerted by the jet on this when the blades are in number of blades are arranged in a drum on a drum, right? So this is a jet which is used, which is the water with a high velocity coming from the nozzle which is connected to the pipe. And as the result, what happens? A single plate will come and hit, the jet will come and hit each and every blade. Continuously, the blade will rotate. So this is a principle used in turbines also. Okay, so this is the force exerted by a jet of water on series of vanes. Okay, so as the water continuously hit the blade, right? So one blade, first it will hit, then it will move because of the velocity. Then the second blade automatically come and join here. Then again the impact will be on the second blade. So automatically the drum will completely rotate. The wheel will rotate continuously as the jet will hit the each and every blade here. Okay. So these blades are called as series of vanes. Nothing but series of blades are connected on are placed on a drum where a jet is giving a high velocity water fluid or hitting with a fluid with high velocity, right? So here the mass of water striking the blade per second will be rho a into this velocity v, because continuously this velocity v will be hitting the blade here, right? Okay, so we are not going to take for mass, we are not going to take any relative velocity into consideration. Only the mass of the water striking the blade will be rho into a into velocity of the jet. Okay, so the force exerted by a jet on the water, the single blade is not practically, right? So till last classes, whatever we have seen is just we have seen for a single blades. So in practical, we cannot see any single blades. Okay, so it will be the combination of blades, nothing but a series of vanes will be there or blades will be there. So from here, the main topic will start, that is pumps as well as turbines, right? So in this unit, we are going to learn about turbines. So the basics are this one: force exerted by a jet of water on the series of vanes. Right, so this is something about the previous one. So what happens here in actual practice, a large number of blades are mounted on a circumference of the wheel at a fixed distance apart as shown in the figure like this, right? So many blades will be fixed on the wheel at a equal distance, right? So the jet strikes a plate, and due to the force exerted by the jet on the plate, what happens? The wheel starts moving, and the second plate mounted on the wheel appears before the jet, which again exerts the force on the second plate. Nothing but continuously the jet will exert the force on single plate, each and every plate, one after the other. So it does thus each plate appears successfully before the jet, and jet exerts the force on each plate, and the wheel starts moving at constant speed. Right, as the jet continuously hit each and every blade, what happens? Continuously the drum or the wheel will rotate at a constant speed. Right, so these are the things which you need to consider. So let the velocity v will be the velocity of the jet, and small d is the diameter of the jet, u is the velocity of the vane. This one, vane, this is called as vane or blade. So u is the velocity of these blades, right? So in this case, what happening? The mass of water coming out from the nozzle per second is always in contact with the plates. So when all the plates are considered, so what will be our mass of water striking the jet plate will be rho into a into v. So where v is the velocity of the jet. So remember this, very important. The mass of water striking the series of plates is rho a into v. Okay. So also the jet strikes a plate with velocity. So we already know, since the blade is already moving, the relative velocity will be v minus u. Relative velocity of the jet is v minus u. Right. So after striking, the jet moves tangentially to the plate, and hence the velocity component in the direction of motion of the plate is equal to 0. So in tangential direction, if you see, the velocity will be 0. Okay, so what happens here finally? If you see, already we know what is the force exerted in the direction of jet, that is mass flow rate into initial velocity minus final velocity. Right, in the direction of jet, if you see, after the water strikes the plate here, in the direction of jet, if you see, the water will hit here, so we'll have initial velocity, but in the same direction the final velocity will be 0 when it strikes the blade here. So that's why we are considering the final velocity here will be equal to 0. So force Fx equal to mass flow rate rho av, mass flow rate, mass per second is rho av for the series of vanes, into initial velocity is v minus u, minus final velocity in the jet direction is 0. So finally we get the force exerted by the jet on series of blades as Fx equal to rho av into v minus u. Right. So after finding the force, we can find the work done by the jet on the series of plates, that is force into velocity of the blade. Right. So already the force we have calculated here, rho av into V minus U into U. If you do, you'll get the work done per second. Okay, so this is a formula for calculating the force and work done per second, right? So this is also generally, we cannot see any flat plates on the turbines. Always a curved blades will be there for the turbines, right? So this is general thing which you have seen now. So now what we are seeing is very important. That is force exerted on a series of radial curved vanes. So what is the meaning of this? On a drum, you can see different number of blades which are in curved parts. So already we know when we have a curved blades, what happens when the jet hits at the tip, we'll get a triangles, velocity triangles. So if you see properly this image, so these are all the same triangles which you have seen in the curved plates. Same thing, right? Where V1 is the velocity of the jet coming at inlet, V2 is the jet coming at the outlet. Same thing, alpha, theta, everything we have seen, and we have solved the problems also. So only difference here is instead of a single blade, many blades will be placed on a drum or a wheel, right? So that's why it is called as series of radial curved vanes. So these type of things are very important, because in turbines we can see there will be a curved vanes only, series of curved vanes which are kept on a drum or a wheel, right? So same things, already we know how to draw the velocity triangles. So when a problem comes in exam on series of radial curved vanes, we can draw a single blade and we can draw the same triangles what we have seen previously, right? So only thing which is different here is there will be two radiuses for the drum. Suppose if you assume this is a full circle, okay, full circle, inside a shaft will be there, and this will be the position of the blades. So we'll have two radius, one at the inlet, one at the outlet. So here the velocity of the blade at inlet and outlet only will differ because of this radius, right? So we need to consider the angular velocity here, because they are going in angular direction here. Okay, angular velocity should be considered. U1 and U2 we are calculating by using of angular velocity, omega. By using omega, angular velocity, we need to calculate the initial velocity of the blade at inlet U1 and initial velocity, final velocity here at U2. So here just only one thing to remember is U1 and U2 were same in case of single blades. Always we are taken U1 and U2 as same in place of single blade. But here if we see the word series of blades, we need to take that U1 is not equal to U2. So U1 should be calculated by using the angular velocity omega. Similarly, U2 also should be calculated by using the angular velocity omega. Right. So how we will calculate U1 is nothing but omega R1. So you can see R1 is the radius at the inlet. So omega R1 gives the U1 value. Omega R2 will give the U2 value. U1 is omega R1. U2 is omega R2. Right. So since the blades are moving in rotation thing, we need to consider the angular velocity. Yes. Okay. So you can see the diagram. Very simple. Just a single blade. If you consider, it is already seen. Just we need to extend two circular arcs from here. Then you can draw two more tangents, two more vanes or blades. Okay. So for one blade, I'm showing the triangle, velocity triangles, because automatically after this blade move away, second blade will come again and here, and again the same thing will come for the second blade also. So right. That is the thing. Okay. So next we'll see how to calculate this work done and efficiency for the series of radial curved vanes, right? So for a radial curved vane, the radius of the vane at inlet and outlet is different. Already I said radius are different. Hence the tangential velocities of radial vane and inlet velocity, inlet and outlet will be not equal. Nothing but tangential velocities will not be equal. So consider a series of radial vanes mounted on a wheel. The jet of water strikes the vane and the wheel starts rotates at an angular speed with some angular speed, right? So this angular speed is very important when you're considering the series of radial curved vanes, omega. So omega we need to calculate by using 2 pi n by 60. So n is nothing but revolutions, how many revolutions the blade is moving, right? Omega equal to 2 pi n by 60. Already we know what is angular speed velocity, angular speed formula, 2 pi n by 60. Okay, so where you already know R1 is the radius of the wheel at inlet of the vane, R2 is the radius of the wheel at the outlet of the vane, right? So by using this angular speed of the wheel, we need to calculate U1, initial velocity of the blade at inlet, velocity of the blade at outlet. So these two are very important to remember, right? So U1 equal to omega R1 and U2 equal to omega R2. Okay. So here for his series of vanes, we need to remember that U1 and U2 are not same because they are mounted on the with a different radius. So U1 equal to omega R1 and U2 is omega R2, right? So omega, I already said how to calculate. Omega is 2 pi n by 60, where n will be given to us, that is revolutions per minute will be given to us, right? So now we need to draw the velocity triangles at inlet and outlet. So already we know same diagram is there for inlet and outlet. So V1 with an angle alpha, VR1 with angle theta, this is VF1, VW1 and U1. Same thing at the outlet, opposite, right? So same triangles, and already we know the mass of water striking per second for the series of vanes is rho A V1. Okay, series of vanes, if it is series of vanes, it is rho A V1. Right. So next we are going to calculate momentum of water. So momentum already we know, mass into velocity. So here in tangential direction, if you see, velocity will be VW1. Right. So remember, tangential direction is this one. This is the tangent at the inlet. So this the velocity which will be in this direction is C. You can see VW1 is the tangential velocity at the inlet. Similarly, VW2 is the tangential velocity at the outlet. So that velocities we need to consider for considering the momentum of water striking the vane in tangential direction per second at inlet. So rho A V1 is the mass into tangential velocity is VW1. Similarly, if you go at the outlet, so VW2 is in opposite direction. So VW2, if you take the component of this V2, that is VW2 will be in the opposite direction. So we need to take as minus VW2 is the velocity at the outlet. Tangential velocity at the outlet is minus VW2, right? So this is just momentum we have taken. Now we are going to take angular momentum because the whole thing is completely moving again in a circular manner. So how to get that is we need to multiply the momentum into radius, right? So for getting the angular momentum into radius will give your angular momentum. So now angular momentum per second at inlet is momentum at inlet already calculated here into radius at the inlet. Radius of the drum at the inlet is R1. Similarly, at the outlet, if you see, it is minus rho A V1. This is not V1, this is V2. Okay, rho A V2. Sorry, this is mass is completely same V1 only. Okay, rho A V1 into VW2 into R2. Mass is always constant only, no need to keep any V1 and V2. Mass striking the blade is always rho A V1 only, right? So this is the angular momentum at inlet as rho A V1 into VW1 into R1. Angular momentum at outlet is minus rho A V1 into VW2 into R2. Okay. Right. So next what we are going to see is here we are going to find torque exerted by the water on the wheel. So torque, since the wheel is completely rotating, we are going to find torque instead of finding the force there, right? So torque is nothing but rate of change of angular momentum here. So rate of change of angular momentum is nothing but at inlet angular momentum minus outlet angular momentum here. Inlet angular momentum per second at inlet minus of angular momentum at outlet. So totally you will get rho A V1 common, that is mass flow rate is common, into VW1 into R1 plus VW2 into R2. Right. So after this, we can find work done. Okay. So work done per second on the wheel is torque into angular velocity. So angular velocity is denoted by omega. So already we know omega, nothing but we know U1 is equals to omega into R1. Right. So torque already we got here. So that if you substitute here torque into omega. Right. So if you send omega inside, you'll get R1 omega here and R2 omega here. So what is R1 into omega is U1. So finally you'll get the expression for work done as rho A V1 into VW1 into U1 plus VW2 into U2. So if you remember the previous thing what we have learned for a single curved plate, what we got there? We got work done as rho A VR1 there, because there we are considering the relative velocity VR1, right? So here only difference is rho A V1 will come into, there we got VW1 plus or minus VW2. into U. Since there U is constant, just you can remember, simple way. U is constant, but at inlet and outlet, U1 equal to U2 equal to U in the case of the single blade. But only difference here is U1 is not equal to U2. So that is coming here as this one, right? So if beta is obtuse angle, already you know if beta is obtuse, you'll get minus sign. So rho A V1 into VW1 U1 minus VW2 U2 will be the thing when beta is obtuse angle, right? So similarly, if beta is 90 degrees, then VW2 term will become 0. So there you will get rho A V1 into VW1 into U1 only, right? So in general expression, if you see what you know, right? Mass per second in case of series of vanes is rho A V1 into VW1 into U1 plus or minus VW2 into U2. So this is the final thing which you need to remember for finding the work done. So work done per second is this one in case of series of blades. If you have series of blades, you will get this. Suppose if it is single blade, already which you have seen what we was having, that is rho A V R1 is the mass flow rate there into VW1 plus or minus VW2 into U, right? So it is U because it is a single blade. For single blade, U will come because we have U1 equal to U2. Suppose if it is a series of blades, this U will come inside as U1 for W1, U2 for W2. That's all. And here you'll get only V value in place of this one. Okay, remember in that way. It is very easy to remember. Right? If you have any doubt here, you can ask. In this one, they never asked this derivation. Actually, they never asked, but they have asked the problems on this. So the problem is very important. Only one type of problem is there. Okay, so next, after finding the work done per second, we can find the efficiency. So efficiency of the radial curved vane, series of radial curved vane. Efficiency is already, you know, output by input. So here output is work done per second, input is the kinetic energy. So work done per second, just now we have calculated as rho A V1 into VW1 U1 plus or minus VW2 U2. So this plus or minus depends upon the beta value, right? If beta is less than 90, you'll get plus. If beta equal to 90, you'll get this VW2 as 0. If beta is greater than 90, you'll get as minus symbol, minus VW2, right? So when you substitute the kinetic energy, half mv square. Okay, so half m is nothing but mass flow rate, m rho A V1 into V1 square is the velocity. Kinetic energy formula half mv square. So that is the thing. So V is the initial velocity of the jet, right? So if you substitute all things, finally you'll get an expression for efficiency of the series of radial curved vanes as 2 into VW1 U1 plus or minus VW2 U2 by V1 square. Okay. Right. So we'll solve only single problem on this on series of blades. Right. So please copy the question. A jet of water having a velocity of 30 meters per second strikes a series of radial curved vanes. So you need to see this word, then only you can understand what is the problem, right? So a jet of water having a velocity of 30 meters per second. So this is jet velocity V1, 30 meters per second, strikes a series of radial curved vanes. So the word is here very important. So then you can remember that you will get the term of angular velocity omega to find U1 and U2. So these are mounted on a wheel which rotates at 200 RPM. So the wheel is rotating at 200 RPM. So n value is given for finding the omega value, angular velocity. So omega equal to 2 pi n by 60. If you do, you will get omega value. After getting omega value, we can find U1 and U2, right? So the jet makes an angle of 20 degrees with the tangent, right? So jet is making an initial velocity alpha equal to 20 degrees to the wheel at inlet and leaves the wheel at a velocity of 5 meters per second. So remember, he has given the velocity at outlet also. So V2 is also given 5 meters per second. So see here, initial velocity 30 meters per second. The jet makes an angle 20 with the tangent to the wheel at inlet and leaves the wheel with a velocity of 5 meters per second. So the water after hitting the blade coming out with a velocity of 5 meters per second. So that is V2, 5 meters per second. And it is coming at an angle of 130 degrees to the tangent of the wheel. So beta star is given as 130 degrees, beta star. to the wheel at outlet. So water is flowing from outward in radial direction. The outer and inner radii of the wheels are given. So why these outer and inner radius are given? For finding U1 and U2, right? So the outer and inner radii of the wheel are 0.5 meter and 0.25 meter respectively. So determine vane angles. So for finding vane angles, first we need to draw the velocity triangles. From that only you can find. Next, work done per unit weight of water, then efficiency of the wheel. Okay, please copy the question fastly. Right, then write down the given data. So first he has given the velocity of the jet V1 equal to velocity of jet V1 equal to 30 meters per second. Then capital N equal to 200 RPM. Okay, so this is the diagram. So no need to draw full diagram. You can draw a single blade like this, and he has given this angle with the tangent Z, right? So V2 is coming out with a velocity of 5 meters per second, and angle made by V2 with the tangent is this one, is beta star as 130 degrees. So this is given to us. So draw this diagram roughly. Okay. In exam, he won't give any triangular diagrams. These diagrams won't be given in the exam. Only the question will be given. You need to draw the diagram also. Right. So after this, you can write on the given data. So velocity given. Speed of the wheel is given, N equal to 200 RPM. So angular speed we can calculate, omega equal to 2 pi N by 60. So the units for angular velocity will be radians per second. Right. So please calculate 2 pi N into 60, 2 pi N by 60. Little bit faster, please.
20.94.
20.94. Very good. Next, he has given angle of jet at inlet alpha is 20 degrees, and the velocity with which outlet is V2 5 meters per second. And then he gave that angle made by a jet at outlet with the tangent to the wheel is 130. So beta star is given. Then you can find angle beta equal to 180 minus 130, 50 degrees. So if angle beta is 50 degrees, you will get VW2 outside like this. Yeah, VW2 will be like this, right? If angle beta is greater than 90 degrees, already we know this VW2 will come outside of this H point, right? That already we have seen. So please remember that. Next, he has given the outer radius of the wheel. R1 is 0.5 meter per second and inner radius R2 is 0.25 meter per second. So remember always outer radius will be R1, inner radius will be R2. So if you see the diagram, you can understand, right? Suppose if it's a round figure. So outer radius is first given, inlet R1, outer radius. Inner radius is at inlet R2. Okay, very important point. This is very important. Outer radius R1 is 0.5 meter. Inner radius R2 is 0.25 meter. Okay, so next you can calculate U1 equal to omega R1. So first already we have calculated omega 20.94 into R1. 20.94 into R1 is 0.5, which is
10.47.
10.47 meter per second. Next, 20.94 into 0.25, which is half of this, 5.235.
5.235.
Right? So
5.235, sir.
Yes,
235.
I'm changing. 5.235 meters per second. So please write down the units also. All velocities, U1, V1, V2, everything will be meters per second only. Okay. Right. So after calculating U1 and U2, now we can go for the first thing. What he asked is to find the vane angles, theta and phi values. Right. So for finding theta and phi values, you can use sine rule. That you need to remember always. You can use sine rule or you can use right angle triangle. And before going to sine rule, what we need to find is from the inlet triangle. You see from here, from the inlet triangle, by using V1, we can find VF1 and VW1. If alpha is already exist, alpha is given in this problem. So alpha is given as 20 degrees. So VW1 is horizontal component of V1. So V1 cos alpha is VW1. VF1 is V1 sin alpha. So we can first find VW1 and VF1. Then we can use the sine rule for using these two, because you'll get the length of here and here, right? So shall I draw here roughly inlet triangle, or I think you have drawn already, right? So first we can solve these two things because we have V1 value and cos alpha value. So what is V1 given? 30. Cos alpha is given as 20. So 30 cos 20 will be VW1.
28.190.
28.190. And here 30 sin 20.
10.260.
10.260 meters per second. Remember, again, these are also meter per second. Don't forget to write the units here. All the velocities, it may be any velocity, meter per second only, right? So now from the inlet triangle, if you see, right? So from the inlet triangle, if you see, now we have VF1 value is there, and we can find this gap also. So already VW1 is there, U1 already we have calculated by using omega R1, VW1 is there and VF1 is there. So by using this, we can find unknown thing which is here. So tan theta, if you use tan theta equal to, we can find theta by using this triangle. So tan theta equal to opposite is VF1, opposite by adjacent is this length, this CD length. So how you will get CD length here? Can anyone tell?
VW1 minus U1.
Very good. So this length is VW1 total minus, if you do this length, you will get this length. So tan theta equal to VF1 by VW1 minus U1. So that thing you can do now first. So from the triangle CBD, tan theta equal to BD by CD, nothing but opposite by adjacent. So opposite we have VF1, adjacent is AD minus AC. So that AD minus AC is nothing but VW1 minus U1, right? So now you can substitute VF1, which is already calculated here, 10.260 minus, divided by VW1 is 28 minus U1. Already we have calculated U1 in the previous slide, that is 10.47, right? So you'll get the values of this one. So 10.260 divided by 28.190 minus U1 is 10.47.
0.579.
Right. So theta equal to tan inverse of this value. If you do, you'll get theta equal to.
1 second, sir.
We want tan theta value.
29.68, sir.
30.
29.68.
I got that.
Yes. Who got 30? 30 point?
30.07.
30.07 is the theta value. Right. So after getting theta, so now we found out one angle as theta. Now we need to find the outlet angle. What is the outlet angle, opposite angle for theta? Phi. We need to find phi. So same thing. First we need to go at the outlet triangle, not right. So at the outlet triangle, now already he has given V2 value. The last problem where we have seen we don't know V2 there, but here he has given V2 value. So again, you can use the right angle triangle as GHE, right? So this triangle is again right angle triangle GHE. So you can use, by using V2, vertical component of V2 will be VF2, VW2 will be the horizontal component of V2, right? Are you able to understand what I'm telling? Okay, once again, roughly I will show here. So at outlet, we have something like this. This is V2, which is given in the problem. So this is VF2, and this length is VW2, and this angle is beta. Okay. And this length is U2. Okay, a little bit roughly I'm drawing. This is VR2. First we'll get VR2, then V2, then vertically VF2. And if this is the blade, and this angle will be given as beta star, which is given in the problem as 130 here. With the tangent, V2 is making an angle. That is the meaning here. Okay, so first we are going to find VW2. So if you see this V2 horizontal component will give you the value of VW2, and V2's vertical component will give your value of VF2, right? So VW2 equal to V2, angle is between this. So cos of V2 gives this value. So VW2 is V2 cos beta. So V2 is 5 meter per second. Cos beta we have calculated as 50 degrees.
3.213.
3.213 meter per second is VW2, and vertical component 5 sine 50.
3.830.
3.83. Right. Thank you. Very good. Right. So after getting VW2, VF2, and U2 already we know, we have calculated by using omega R2. Right. So V2, U2, everything is there. So now what we need? We need Vane angle at the outlet, that is phi. This angle we need. So from this, if you see, it is a right angle triangle. Now, right, whole triangle you can see. So tan phi equal to opposite VF2 by adjacent full length. So U2 plus VW2. So tan phi equal to VF2 by U2 plus VW2. Right. So now substitute all the values of this. So VF2, what we got? 3.83 divided by U2. What is the value of U2? 5.235
5.235.
plus 3.21. Okay, so then phi equal to tan inverse of this value. Yes, please join immediately. Only 1 minute time is left. 24.38,
sir.
right? Very good. So 24.38 is the Vane angle at the outlet. Phi equal to 24.38 degrees. Right. So first thing what he asked is Vane angles we are completed. Next he asked work done per second per unit weight.